Many people with diabetes, whether you're talking about people with type 1 diabetes, type 1.5, pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, even gestational diabetes, are terrified of eating foods that contain carbohydrate. Because again, going back to what you were saying, right? Carbohydrate metabolizes to sugar. Sugar's the problem. Sugar's the problem. Sugar's the problem, right? So people with diabetes, they don't eat foods like fruits. They don't eat potatoes, rice, corn, quinoa, cereals, pastas, right? So what recommendations would you give to somebody who does have diabetes and is looking for, quote unquote, safe carbohydrates to eat so that their blood glucose doesn't go through the roof?
Right. Whole grain carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables. Even if I warn them though, when your insulin isn't working properly when I first see you, even people that don't have diabetes, because it takes a little time to be diagnosed with diabetes, but you still might have insulin resistance. And even then, your sugar might go a little bit higher than you're used to if you start adding in fruits and vegetables and whole grains. So early on, I don't worry about that as much because I'm trying to fix the fat and the insulin, the fat in the muscle cells, the intracellular fat and the insulin. And I'm not as worried about what the actual blood sugar number is doing. And that's on average. So the key is eat whole grains, potatoes. You can eat those, legumes, the starchy vegetables, so brown, when I say whole grains, brown rice, corn, quinoa, millet, all that stuff. I know that people are afraid of. If you're getting rid of the oil, which is the most important thing, and you're eating a lower fat diet, so you're getting that insulin working properly, you're going to do really well. And then once things are, you could even add some nuts and seeds because they're high in fiber, it's in a safe package, but you might not want to start off going crazy with the nuts and seeds while you're first trying to reverse everything. So anyway, fruits, vegetables, lots of vegetables, whole grains, those improve diabetes. Those will help reverse diabetes where it is reversible. Those will help you live longer and better. I mean, it's just prevent heart attacks and stroke. I mean, it's just a fantastic way to go. Diabetics need to trust. They need to trust that they can do that. Read as many books, read as many articles as you need to get there. But if you do that, you're going to be able to sustain this diet. And you're going to improve your blood sugars and potentially reverse your diabetes. And you have to let your doctor know, right? Ideally, find a doctor that's well versed in this information so they don't mislead you. But they're going to have to get you off of your glucose lowering medications, and sometimes relatively quickly. So depending on the patient, I might even stop those on day one. And if you don't have a doctor that's aware of the diet changes that you're making, you could get into trouble. So make sure you let them know and say, hey, I'm doing this diet that's going to potentially reverse my blood pressure and blood sugars pretty drastically. Give them books, give them articles, whatever you got to give them, and say, hey, I'm going to need you to help me get off these pills. If they won't do it, find another doctor that will.